It dawned on me that I haven't done a video on tithing in a while, so let's just dive right on into it, shall we? When it comes to teaching Torah, I hear this a lot. Well, if you're going to keep Sabbath, you better keep the dietary laws, and you better wear tzitzits, and you better make sure you don't wear linen and wool together. Because if you break one law, you break them all, so you better be keeping all of them. Whenever I hear this, it's a sure sign that the person I'm talking to knows nothing about the Bible. But regardless of that, let's bring this into perspective with tithing. The laws for tithing to a church come from the Torah. In Hebrew, a tithe means a tenth. And it means the same thing in the Greek. Leviticus 27, every tithe of the land, whether of the seed or of the land or of the fruit of the trees, is the Lord's. It is holy to the Lord. If a man wishes to redeem some of his tithe, he shall add a fifth to it. And every tithe of herds and flocks, every 10th animal of the pass under the herdsman's staff shall be holy to the Lord. Deuteronomy 14, at the end of every 3 years you shall bring out all the tithe of your produce in the same year and lay it up within your towns. And in Numbers 18, we see that even the priests are commanded to tithe. Moreover, you shall speak and say to the Levites, when you take from the people of Israel the tithe that I have given you from them for your inheritance, then you shall present a contribution from it to the Lord, a tithe of the tithe. So these laws in the Torah are why your church asks you for a tenth of your income every month. So there you go. They've put you under the law, so you better start keeping all of it. Because there's nothing in the New Testament that reaffirms tithing, especially not a monetary tithe to your church. For further proof, let's go to 2 Chronicles 31. And he commanded the people who lived in Jerusalem to give the portion due to the priests and the Levites, that they might give themselves to the law of the Lord. As soon as the command was spread abroad, the people of Israel gave in abundance the first fruits of grape, wine, oil, honey, and all of the produce of their field. And they brought in abundantly the tithe of everything. Some people like to cite Matthew 23:23, saying that Jesus was reaffirming tithing, but he wasn't. He was rebuking the Pharisees here, saying, you guys have no problem tithing, but you won't do the weightier matters of the law, kind of like most Christians today. And some people like to bring up what Paul said in 1 Corinthians 16, but he was telling them to tithe to the priests in Jerusalem, in accordance with Torah law. And I know what some of you are thinking, of course God's not going to get mad at me for tithing to my church. And I wholeheartedly agree. Just like God's not going to get mad at me for keeping his dietary laws, or his Sabbath, or his feast days, or wearing tzitzits. Are you starting to see where this is going? God doesn't get mad at you for keeping his laws. He gets mad at you for not keeping his laws.